I'm Rick Vatner from Surefire Mobile Marketing, and today I'm going to give you 10 billion reasons why your business needs an app. Now, I know that most businesses are frankly worried about catching a new trend too early. What happens if the trend is only a temporary blip? Take selfie sticks, for instance. If you bought just enough, then you probably made a good profit. But if you bought too many, then you might find you're a little bit overstocked today. Well, when it comes to apps, I think the jury is not only in, it's retired. Apps are here to stay. Do you know how many apps have been downloaded from the Apple App Store since it opened in July 2008 up until June 2015? In billions. Well, would over 100 billion downloads impress you? And how about a similar number from the number 2 App Store, the Google Play Store? I know, a terrible name, but that's what they called it. Anyway, here's a graph of the incredible rise of apps since Apple launched the world's first App Store in 2008. And as you can see, there's been a steady rise until in June 2015, over 100 billion apps had been downloaded from the Apple App Store. That's incredible. But even more interesting is how many new apps are being uploaded to the App Store every day. And recently, that number was over 1,000 new apps a day. Now, I don't know if numbers impress you or not. And if they don't, I hope I'll show you why they should. But here is a graph showing how many apps are available in the Apple App Store alone. And as you can see, there's been a steady rise. And as of January 2015, there was over 1,250,000 apps. And today, that's October 2015, there's over 1.5 million apps in the Apple App Store alone. And the number is slightly higher at the Google App Store with 1.6 million. Yes, they're big numbers, and I do hope you find them impressive. But I can almost hear you thinking, I'm happy for Apple and Google, but what do these numbers mean for me? And that's a good question. But what it means for every business is that apps are not temporary. They're not a blip. This is a sea change in the way that the internet will operate from now on, forever. And for the skeptics, yes, forever on the internet does mean until the next sea change, but they don't happen every 5 minutes. Look, to be honest, the internet started in 1995 to all intents and purposes, and today it's 2015, and up until now, all of the changes have been around websites. It's been about technology of websites. It's been about the platform of websites. But this year, there's been a dramatic move from websites to apps. And I believe that apps will be the way that we access and use the internet for the next 10 or 15 years at least. So that's what I mean by forever. But look, maybe I haven't convinced you yet. Let's have a look at another statistic that I found that's very interesting, and that is the number of apps that people have on their phone and the average amount of time they spend using them every month. The latest figure I have is for the last quarter of 2014, when the average smartphone user had 26.7 apps on their phone and spent a whopping 37 hours and 28 minutes using them per month. Now, most people think that gaming apps are by far the biggest category. And look, they are. But they only represent a little more than 20% of available apps. Other leading app categories based on terms of availability are business apps, education apps, lifestyle apps, and entertainment apps. In March 2015, business apps were the second most popular category, with a share of 10.14% of all apps being business apps. As of June 2015, more than 100 billion apps had been downloaded, as I said before, from the Apple App Store alone. So that means approximately 10 billion of those apps were business apps. And that's why I say that there are 10 billion reasons why your business needs to have an app. And when you consider how few businesses actually have an app available for people to download today, you can see that this is a wide open market that's being virtually ignored by most smaller to medium-sized businesses. Now, another trend which I'm sure most of you have noticed, if not experienced, is what I call ad apathy. And because people have gravitated towards the internet to get their information, it's become so much easier for them to ignore ads. And you know, big business gets it. And that's why the new mantra is apps, not ads. A report released by the analytics company Destimo at the end of 2011 found that 9 out of 10 of the world's top 100 brands had released a mobile app. In fact, it found that 91% of companies listed in the Interbrand's 2011 Best Global Brands chart had a presence in at least one of the major app stores, up from 51% when Destimo checked 18 months prior to that. Destimo said that each brand had 24 apps available on average, although that figure was skewed by the large publishers like Disney, who had 636 apps across all the app stores, and Sony, who had 285 apps. But even if you take them out of the figures, the average is still 15 apps per brand. The report reveals that the best global brands in 2011 realized that app stores offer a viable channel to 1. Promote their brand, 2. Reach customers, and 3. For a subset of brands, actually sell content. That means selling products, selling services through the app. And just in case you haven't read any of our other articles on this website, which of course is now your homework, once a person downloads your app, you have a free one-to-one communication channel with them. Priceless. Naturally, media companies with the keenest categories of brands, with an average of 247 apps each, some distance ahead of computer software brands, 36 apps per company, business services, 31 apps per company, and automotive brands with 29 apps per company. Destimo also found that 73% of the top 100 brands focused on providing free apps. So I guess my question to you again is, if the big boys can see it, and if they are releasing apps, not just for their brand, but for each individual brand, where's your app for your business? Well, that's the thought of the day for today. And don't forget, if you'd like to talk to someone on a completely obligation-free basis about how an app could help your business do better, then please go to the Contact Us page and send me your details, and I will contact you within 24 hours, and we can talk about how your business would benefit from having an app. And remember, one day everyone will have an app, so why wait until everyone has an app before you get one? I look forward to hearing from you soon, and I'll see you in the next video. This is Rick Vatner signing off. Goodbye, and thank you for listening.